What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to get back into the XFL. If it's your first time here, hey, I'm glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back, and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. And remember to give me those comments. I love interacting with you guys down in the comment section, and if you leave some good comments, I'll definitely go ahead and feature your comments. And remember, we're whittling down our going through and grading all of the XFL uniforms. So if you haven't checked those videos yet out, I'm going to put a card up here somewhere, and you can click on that card and you can go ahead and watch those videos and then come back to this XFL news video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be getting into the XFL news, and we've got some news pieces that I want to cover that have kind of happened over the past week. So I just kind of want to go ahead and kind of dive into them a little bit and shed some light on some things. So first and foremost, if you haven't yet, go and check, after you watch this video, go ahead and check out Pat McAfee's video on the XFL football. I just love the content that man puts out. I think he's hilarious, but I also think that he does a really good job. And they sent him one of those little bundles of turkey joy, and he was able to go through and test it out and give his thoughts. He seems to really like the ball. Hey, XFL, or anybody that's watching that's connected with the XFL, if you want to send me a ball and have me check it out for you, I would be more than happy to let you know what you did right and what you did wrong with them, and let you know what you could do to improve it in the future. So if you want to send one my way, just go ahead and send me a message or an email on any one of my links, and I will definitely take that and do that for you. No charge. All right, all joking aside, though, goes through and looks at the ball, and is kind of another one of those guys that really comes out and kind of praises the X on the on the edge of the football. And I think that it's a really neat thing for me. It really shows just how deep that the XFL is actually getting into things with this. They're just not sitting on the top of things. They're actually going through and they're taking these, kind of what we've known about the industry and kind of looking at things and just not going with status quo with football, but really trying to figure out how they can make the game better. Not necessarily change the game just for change's sake, but actually do something to make it different. And I think that's really neat to see, and I'm actually kind of excited about that. So that's kind of one of those cool things that we kind of see with the football and with some of the rules stuff, and we'll cover the rules here in just a minute. But it's really cool to see. And again, let's go ahead and let's just transition. Why don't we just go ahead and transition to that? So I'm still working on my transitions. Hey, I've only been doing this for a short period of time, but a quick transition into that. The rules, the actual official XFL rulebook will be, it's rumored to be released next week. So who knows? Sometime probably, I would imagine, the week of the 14th or the 15th, depending upon how you look at that maybe we'll get the XFL release of the the new rule book, and we can actually dive into those. And instead of having all of these rumors and them telling us what things are, we can actually dive into it and really see what changes they have made to the game, because I think that's really interesting, especially a lot of the information that's been coming out. Oliver Luck's been doing a lot of interviews, and it's really neat. If you aren't following along with what he's been saying and the questions that have been asked, it's really neat because strategically he's kind of been just releasing information, just nonchalant about what the league's doing, and kind of as the process goes, he's just kind of giving us more and more information with that, which I find just kind of really fascinating, and he'll just give you these little tidbits that just, if you weren't paying attention, you'll miss them, but are actually really kind of diving into kind of the whole kind of scheme of things and kind of how things are going with stuff and that. So it's really interesting to see that, and he's been doing a lot of them. So we've been getting a lot of that type of information. And speaking of new information and all of that, I think we've finally figured out who's going to be doing what when it comes to actual like merchandising, apparel, and uniforms, who's going to be making them, what's going to be happening. So it came out that they were working on a deal with Starter, and it seems like that's going to go through, and that Starter is going to definitely be an official brand for the XFL. But it looks like they're just going to be making apparel for them. It doesn't look like they're going to be making any on-field things. And so we kind of touched on that before, and that's looking to be true. That's what's happened. They signed a deal with Starter, and so Starter's going to be making a lot of apparel for the XFL, kind of like what they did with the AAF. The difference here is, though, is they're not actually going to be doing the uniforms and the on-field jerseys, pants, equipment, that type of stuff. And we've actually found out that it was first reported that possibly it was going to be a new division of Adidas that was going to be the company that was going to be doing this, which was kind of interesting because when the leaked jerseys came out, a lot of sources were saying that, hey, these look like Adidas. It looks like something, might be Adidas, and Adidas's name was thrown out there. Well, as we're getting more and more information, it kind of is Adidas, but not really. Why do I say that? Well, we've got a company called Custom Outfitters LLC. And so pretty much what they are is they're a company. They're their own standalone company. They're out of Davie, Florida. And what they do is they actually make a lot of the custom like uniforms, jerseys, custom team apparels and stuff like that for Adidas. And so they're their own company, but yet they do a lot of stuff for Adidas. And so it looks like that they're going to be working with the XFL and that they're actually going to be the ones that are going to be making all of the uniforms for the XFL. So it's not really Adidas that's doing it, but it's a company that works very closely with Adidas and does a lot of specialty stuff for Adidas. So I think that's really good and really good to see that they've kind of got a tried and true company that's coming in here, that's taking that on, and it actually shows too. With that, the quality of the jerseys and the things that we've seen so far have been pretty nice, pretty spot on, and everything that I have heard so far. Now, granted, I have not seen anything. And the XFL, again, any of you guys out there watching, you guys want to send me any of that stuff, just shoot me a message, and I will gladly go ahead and let you know what I think of that material and, maybe even give you some pointers on what you could do to make your product better. If you want to send me that stuff, you go right ahead. I will take it anytime, and I'll do it free of charge. Again, I'll do it just for you guys. I'll do it free of charge. All kidding aside, though, when I think that this is very good for them, and really it looks really good because you've got this established company that's coming in here that is going through and making your stuff for you. It's affiliated with Adidas. They know what they're doing. They do a lot of work for Adidas. So I think that this is a good thing. It's a good partnership, and I think it's a good way to go. And I think they're going to end up with a lot of quality stuff, which it seems to be very quality from what I've seen. And speaking of jerseys, believe it or not, the XFL jerseys have been selling really well. These replica jerseys that really are number 20. A whole bunch of number 20s are going out there and people are buying them up. And it's kind of surprising. It was floating around that they were sold out in places. And so, they're sold out. And so I went and I checked online. And believe it or not, there are jerseys that are sold out. Now they are starting to get, I think, some back in stock or whatever, because I've kind of gone back through and I can kind of see, okay, so now they've got, large is back or extra large is back, but when they were sold out the other day and this and that. So just a lot of it too depends upon your team, what you're looking at and looking for. So it seems like the initial batch sold out pretty quickly, and that they've been kind of building them up as they go and really trying to hit those orders for those people that are wanting them for the Christmas time. But I think that that's a really good thing for the XFL, that they're actually selling these replica jerseys fairly well, and they're not cheap. Cheap jerseys. They're actually, decent, not decently priced, but, they're a legitimate jersey cost. And, people are buying him up. And so I think that that's a really good thing for the league to see them, to, really see them succeed on that level. So I really think that that's a really neat and a cool thing. And one of the other things that we had that going on, and it really started last week, but it's really had me excited, and I kind of want to take a moment and kind of discuss this, is that the mini camps started last week. And so I was kind of just curious to see what was going to happen and, how things were going to be done. And I've been overly excited about what all is happening. It's been really neat to see just how open the XFL has been and how involved in social media they've been. And it's not just cookie cutter. They're really allowing all of the teams to really kind of put their own little stamp on things and really kind of go through and, Tampa Bay do their thing and, Dallas do their thing, Houston do their thing. And overall, they've been kind of going around and kind of, doing a whole XFL thing as they've been going, but really just kind of going team by team and really just kind of opening things up. We're starting to get little tidbits of videos, short little, videos on Twitter. So yeah, we're really starting to get a lot of kind of news and information out there on the media, on social media sites and stuff like that, and which is really cool. And there's an excitement about it, and they're allowing players to kind of show their personality online and kind of who they are, which is really nice because it's giving us an opportunity to kind of, get to know some of them, the ones that really want to step out there and kind of want to put their personalities out there, which I think is totally a cool thing. I really like that they're going through and they're doing that. So definitely a neat thing with it, and it's just showing the buzz that's around the XFL. People are excited about it. People are excited about what the XFL is planning on doing, what they're gonna do, and the approach that they're taking with things. It's really been neat to just kind of see, how vibrant of a community that it is. And that it's just not this old football stoic type of a thing. You're not going to get much information. It really seems like everybody around it is really excited. They're excited for the season to come up. They're excited to really kind of showcase what they're doing, whether it be, the social media teams, whether it be these coaching staffs, whether it be the players, and a lot of this, a lot of these teams are taking pride in what they're doing. Even so much so as I've had some people, telling me about the LA Wildcats. Their equipment team has their own. I think they started an Instagram and they went through and they have their own, Twitter. And so I'm like going on there and they're posting really neat things and showing neat stuff. And it's really neat and interesting to see just how much access that we're getting to the XFL. And it's not just local media. I joke about the whole not getting, one of those cool boxes that all of the Dallas Renegade people got, all of their local media got and all of their influencers and stuff and, all of the footballs that I'd love to have one of those. But the fact of the matter is just looking at it from a fan standpoint, to get all of this access online, especially being hundreds of miles away from these teams, is really just cool and neat. And I really applaud the XFL for doing that because they could just have easily just kind of kept everything under wraps and not really letting a whole out, just letting little bits and pieces here out, here and there. And, granted, I know that they're still handpicking what they're wanting the outside to see, but at least it's nice to see that they're actually giving the outside things to see, and they're allowing players to speak with their voice and their coach and the coaches and everybody around the XFL. They're not hiding behind things. They're really showing that this is a vibrant business that is is up and running and that is excited to bring you their product. And it shows. And I am excited about their product. And I'm really excited to see what kind of football we're going to get. All right, guys, I know that this video has been kind of long, but I really wanted to get kind of the overview of kind of what's been happening. You're definitely going to see some more news videos because a lot's been coming out. So I'm trying to break it up into pieces. So definitely be watching the channel for more news on the XFL. All right. Well, I know that you're busy and I know that I'm busy. So let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.